link up in X and on Facebook. BRB. Okay, and one more. So I'm back. Sorry it took so long. So I'm in my new kitchen. Well, it's not really new. It's new kitchen counters because they basically the old ones turned black. Apparently, the people that installed them when the house was built didn't seal it the right way, and counters, granite counters can really suffer from ultraviolet light. So we're right here. I'll let you guys look around. So it seems to be the exact same stuff, and that's what it's always supposed to look like. I don't know. So anyway, it's kind of nice to have this. All we gotta do is organize the drawers again. But that's neither this or that. Okay, so we know that Galaxy's Edge is in the middle of Seasons of the Force. And they've got 2 videos. One's called The Shadow of Memory. Hey, Stacy, how are you? And the other one's called The Flames of the Moons or something like that. Neither have anything to do with the sequel trilogy, all right? Neither. And there goes that idiot. Okay, sorry. Neither have anything to do with the sequel trilogy. So it's interesting. In Shadows of Memory, it's episodes 1 through 6. And you can find it on my upload. I did add a link to the Laughing Place, which has it on there with the Flames of the Rising Moons or something like that. And the Flames of the Rising Moons is just, you're where the Falcon is. I'm going to say Docking Bay 94 because, okay, that's when I look at pictures and video of Batu, I see Tatooine, okay? And no one can convince me otherwise. And behind it, there's these big, gigantic, what looks like big jagged rocks. And they project these 2 videos. One's got a little dude telling the Skywalker story, episodes 1 through 6. No, Rey! And then the thing is still lit up, and Star Wars music plays for like another 12 minutes. Really something to see. You've got fireworks in the back, and it's spectacular. What I want to talk about is, I don't know if Season of the Force is an experiment to see if the OG is really as popular as people think it is. But just the first day alone, the kid who doesn't look like Mark Hamill, don't get upset. Star Wars fans tend to pick nits. We're not monkeys. We don't do that. We don't pick or eat nits. Stop it, okay? Star Wars fans tend to do that, and they need to grow up and knock it off. The kid is Luke Skywalker. That's all we wanted, is the OG to be represented. And the first Skywalker we ever met is him. Well, we met Leia, but we didn't know at the time that she was a Skywalker. So it's a BFD. And it's aimed at the generation that grew up with Star Wars, us, Generation X. It's aimed at a generation that has the money to buy stuff, merch, has the money to go to Galaxy's Edge and spend hundreds of, if not thousands, on a trip. And before Kennedy decided we got more movies ahead of us than behind us, that was the intent, is to bring the original trilogy and the prequels in places to life at Galaxy's Edge. She basically goes to Iger, convinces him that the ST is where it should be based, and they have to scrap all their plans. Now it looks like the plans are coming to fruition in a different way. All right, and if Jon Favreau, who was been pushing this, is correct, and season of the Force proves him right that OG and prequel Star Wars, and actually OG for both of them, is the way to go, Disney will make that change. Look, when you look at plans of Galaxy's Edge, your bird, you're looking down at it, it's supposed to be Tatooine, right? That's what it is. So I don't think changing names and changing the skin on some places, changing the video at Rise of the Resistance, turn it into the Battle of Endor, maybe even spending the money on a Star Wars trench run where you could be in the cockpit of an X-Wing fighter blowing up the Death Star. There's lots of Cloud City, Hoth, and Hoth would be really fun because you could do it almost on a sound stage, almost like a volume stage, so you feel like you were there. And there is part of the National Marine Corps Museum at Quantico, Virginia. As you all know, my husband is a retired Marine Corps colonel. His last duty station was at Quantico, basically he was the head of all Marine Corps manpower. And we have gone to that museum dozens of times. They have in the museum an exhibit dedicated to what the Marines back when they were fighting the Korean War, the frozen Chosin. The Chosin Reservoir was a big, rather long, difficult fight where it was right when the Chinese got into it. And they surprised everybody. Don't ask me how, they just did. And it was, I'm gonna say it, fucking cold. Like if you live in Wisconsin, you'd be like, this sucks worse, okay? And the Marines were able to fight their way out of it. And so it's about that battle. And they intentionally have super cold air in there. And if it's summertime, you're going, I don't care anymore, I wanna go. So you could do that with Hoth and make people you're part of it then. You could do, like, if you wanted to do Cloud City, you could do a restaurant, and I mean, get some Michelin chefs in there and really do something spectacular, Lando kind of shit. Naboo, the same thing. You could have two different restaurants there. Naboo for the prequels, Cloud City for the OG. You could have a place at, like, and almost make it like a club where, like a smuggler's hangout, or Narshada, where, people are playing sabacc for real. All right? I don't know if that would probably be against Disney's rules, gambling, etc. But still, if you think about it, this is a male oriented brand. This is an adult brand. And in my opinion, I really think it is worth exploring and stuff like that. Because look, let's go back to the failure of the hotel, right? The hotel sucked. Why? Sequel trilogy. Sequel trilogy is not mentioned in Season of the Force. All right. Luke Skywalker is there now, and I'm desperate to find out if when Rey's out there, if he's out there, who gets some more attention. I guarantee you, people see Luke and go, whew. You know, again, I know he doesn't look like Mark Hamill. He's the right age. He's the right size. He looks like a 2 pound, 2 pound heavy soaking wet blonde dish mop, which is exactly the perfect, I mean, for Luke Skywalker, okay? And that's fine. That's what you want, right? So I'd like to know I'd like to see for myself what it really looks like. And, you know, you could change that hideous rectangular sensor dish for a new round one. If it's round, make it look do like a pentagon-shaped one or something that makes it look like it was a replacement for the round one, if you have to. But get the J.J. Abrams inspired 25% different out of there. So it looks to me, at least just anecdotally in the way it's all laying out, that the parks are starting, not necessarily at the speed of light, to fade out Rey, Kyle Ren, etc. But they're starting to do it. Okay, they are starting to do it, and that is really important. Okay, and if you go to the laughing place to watch the video, turn it way up because you can't really hear what all the little dude is saying. He's the lore master, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it's you know, and of course the video that I posted a couple of times now of Luke and R2D2 walking towards the Falcon. I'm just like, be still my heart. You know, that to me is just, wow. Okay, so we've got that going. Then we've got, and I was gonna do an upload for that, if something can get added to it. But I'm just seeing which way the news is going on this. Screen Rant did a very positive story about Jon Favreau. And they usually have to fight for room in, you know, Kennedy's anal orifice with Deadline. All right, how hard can we kiss her ass? Oh, they've already got, the hotel is offices for Imagineers now. It's not going to be used for anything else. They did a positive article about Jon Favreau and basically said and proved another scoop that Cameron had, another instinct that he had, that Favreau decided all on his own to write 8 episodes of The Mandalorian and present it to Kennedy and Bob Iger because he had pitched stuff to Lucasfilm and they poo-pooed it. So he wrote the stuff out and then he went to Iger and said, let me try fixing what's broken. And if he said that back in 2017, maybe even 2016, they already knew they had a problem. I guarantee you people on the Lucasfilm staff who'd seen the dailies from The Last Jedi, and maybe John talked to Harrison Ford, who everybody, I mean, he and Mark Hamill are friends. Mark, Bet Your Sweet Bippy wrote him and said, I wish you were here, they wouldn't be doing this to me. Because all Harrison would have to do is say, Ryan, fix that. You don't get to do this to him, to Mark. This is undignified bullshit. And then if Ryan didn't, then Harrison says, fuck you, goes to Iger and says, you either get control of this director or me, Carrie, and Mark are leaving. All right? That's all he would have to do. He could get away with it, okay? Because he's relevant and very quietly dangerous to piss off in Hollywood. Um, and I know that stuff got back to Jon Favreau, and I know he was horrified. I know he looked at the Force Awakens and went, "The fuck," because it was just bad. I mean, I know people liked it. I thought I liked it, and then I sat down and started thinking about it and went, you can't. I mean, you can't watch that movie or that movie and go, wow, this is right up there with, A New Hope and uh, the, the the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. It's not. I mean, The Force Awakens sucks. What makes it worse is The Last Jedi. What makes it worse is The Rise of Palpatine. Why? Because those movies were disjointed dumpster fires. They had no plan, and now we know they've had no plan. They hired two directors who apparently hate each other's guts. One director decides to kill off the main baddie to subvert everybody's expectations, he says in his gay fairy voice. And it's like, you should have just stopped. All right? They didn't, the Last Jedi did not make half of what it was supposed to make. Which is, Disney projected it to make, $2.5 billion and made 1.3. And The Rise of Palpatine barely crawled over $1 billion. So it's like, if you're somebody like Jon Favreau, you can do better. And the people that are in charge at Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, her minions, don't know what the fuck they're doing. You go to the premiere of Solo and walk out feeling like you just got gut punched because it was so fucking bad. Okay, if you liked that movie, you're not a Star Wars fan. That's all I can say. I mean, really, I've had people ask me after watching Shadow of the Force video, Shadow of Memory, would I keep Rogue One? And I'm like, it was the best movie of all of them. It was actually not vomit inducing. Like if you get Ryan Cannell there, it was Luke. I had a female lead. She was at least not tough to take. She wasn't, you think about it, she wasn't, Rey. She wasn't Vice Admiral Gender Studies. She wasn't Rose Tico. She wasn't, oh my God, that train wreck Maz Kanata. Okay. She was a girl whose parents got killed and was surviving. All right. And ended up in the underworld because that's the only thing she knew. Okay. And she was a really good fighter, right? But she wasn't the girl power. I mean, first off, she did have a guy help her. The uncharismatic, lawn jockey sized Cassian Andor. Okay, but she still had a guy there. So it's not woke. I don't know. I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't think I'd have any more spin-offs of that. I've had enough of Diego Luna I mean, I barely keep down my lunch when I see the guy. And I will watch Andor, so none of you have to, okay? So don't watch it, because every time there's an episode, I will be here to fucking destroy it, because I know I'm gonna end up doing that. And so, you know, I don't know what I would do with it. I would really, you'd have to give me the pros and cons, pros of keeping it, the cons of keeping it. But what I would do with the sequel trilogy, and I think this would be even better karma than deleting it from Disney Plus, which would be hilarious. And that would be Disney admitting it was a bad idea. And I think they really do need to admit that. I would leave it up there, but I would take it out of canon. It would say Legends. Whereas, like I said in my upload today, go watch it, please. You don't need another 3 Skywalker Saga movies. They are there. They're shaping the galaxy. Okay. You know, Leia in her government work, Luke retraining another generation of Jedi. And you could do one movie with all 3 of them, and then do other movies where Han and Leia and Luke have major parts, but it's a story that's about them. But you know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to keep doing the Skywalker saga. And there are other eras, and there are other places to look. You know, we've got a feeling that we're going to get Star Wars Underworld, a level 1313 from Coruscant. I'd like to see a TV show, streaming show about Nar Shaddaa. All right. Revan. Should we have 3 movies about Revan? Should we have Dawn of the Jedi, where, you know, you get to look at Tython 25 years from the Battle of Yavin, 25,000 years before. You know, I think that would be really cool. You know, but give the first mission I would have if I was running Lucasfilm is to fix what was broken, put the sequels into an alternate universe, and tell the Disney bigwigs, this is not canon anymore. Nobody's making any money on it. Okay, so I want it to go into Legends, and we're going into a new timeline where it is not part of it. You know, and if, you know, you bring back, you know, Oscar Isaac playing a different role, the crybaby John Boyega in a different role, you bring back, you know, those 2 guys, fine, but Ben Solo would end up somehow becoming Ben Skywalker, and we would get the Solo twins. If you're going to, if you need to have stuff about Skywalkers, bring out Jaina and Jason. I guarantee you, if you did a movie about the Solo twins and their little brother, I give Han and Leia 3 more kids, just because I think that they've been done so dirty by Kennedy that I would just do that. And do a few stories. Do a movie and then do some streaming TV shows. You know, Jaina Solo is an extremely popular character. Jason is too. You know, and have the debate. Do we follow the novels in the EU verbatim? He turns to the dark side and becomes Darth Caedus. Or do we not? Does he really need to, you know, have that debate among, you know, the creatives at Lucasfilm, Dave Filoni, John, etc. All right. You know, have the debate. Do we recast Han, Luke, and Leia, or do we use deepfake? All right. I mean, those are things we should be doing. And if they had done it right in the first place, when all 3 were alive, you could have done, you would be sitting in a better spot than you are. There wouldn't be anybody wandering around saying, Star Wars is dead. Who told you that? Gary Beekler at Nerdrotic. You know, it's just, I can't remember. One of Cameron's subscribers on his Patreon basically called it an addiction. This rage porn is an addiction, and I'm telling you, man, the black pills and black pill blobs are fantastic drug pushers on this. And I never looked at it like that. But he brought up the fact that when we were kids and people would sit down to watch the evening news, it was an addiction. All right. Part of it is you feel like the need to know what's going on, and you should be. The other part is, that song by Don Henley, Dirty Laundry, and it's not always the truth. Since, the last 10 years, we know that the evening news and the MSM lies about everything, right? They do. And that's the truth. So we've got, let's go back to Screen Rant. So they wrote this very complimentary story about Jon Favreau, and I'm really intrigued by it. We can look at Galaxy's Edge, Luke Skywalker there from the 28th of March to the 11th of May. So, I think it's an experiment, in my opinion. And I think I think you're going to sense changes coming, okay, from then. But we've got 18 days to celebration, all right? Oh, and I'm going to say this before I leave. Watch 1923, the second season. I love it. I like it. I love it better than the original. It's got everything from sacrifice and stupid decisions, adventure, survival, to a villain so well written, so well portrayed by Timothy Dalton. I mean, he's literally the perfect, mustache twirling greaseball. All right, he is disgusting. He is absolutely horrible, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, it's really good. And I'm going to say this because Dave Pensack agreed with me. When you watch this TV show, Helen Mirren, Harrison Ford are exactly who Han and Leia used to be and should be and should have been in the sequels. Okay? And that's the truth. And that's, I think, for a Star Wars fan watching this, that is the thing that really just gets people really pissed off seeing this shit. Okay? Because how come Taylor Sheridan, who is obviously a toxic white cis male, according to Molly Damon and, the Mary Sue and Rewriting Ripley and, the land whale that is Leslie Headland, how come he can write better romance than women can? Why? Because men are romantic. And he knows how to do that. And he made John Kasdan and Larry Kasdan and J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson look fucking stupid. Look fucking stupid with this. That's what we've lost. Oh, he's just, yeah, if you're watching, yeah, I mean, Kim is right. That guy is, I mean, let's put it this way. If Jacob Dutt never found out what he was doing, he'd probably drag him through Livingston behind his horse. All right? A few times till he was good and nothing but a pulpy mess. All right? So, yeah. He is, oh my God. But that's an intriguing thing. You see the doubt in Banner's eyes and about what he's doing and having to do that thing that he did. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's not a bad TV show. And when he tells Dalton that's someone's little girl, that there are clues there. It makes you kind of go, is Banner just gonna say fuck this shit and join the Duttons? What does Banner actually kill Dalton? Because he doesn't like, I mean, he hates the Duttons, all right, with good reason, but frontier justice, he should not have had his sheep where they were. And he knew what he was doing when he did it. But he's a dad, all right? And I would think that alone is enough to make him go, boom, to Timothy Dalton. But I'm also going to give you another hint. We get to know taking him to the train station where that euphemism phrase came from. In the next 3 episodes or 2 episodes, we're actually getting, I think, seven, and then I think 8. I don't know if it ends this Sunday or not. All right, but just try to binge watch both seasons. You will not be disappointed. And I am going to say this. It is better than Yellowstone. And I pledge my loyalty to John Dutton and to his family. For the brand, baby. I mean, I'm wearing "You Are the Trailer Park, I Am the Tornado" t-shirt. Beth's admonishment to a developer that was trying to basically take the valley from the Duttons and turn it into a rich people's playground like Aspen. And this is how that guy died. He was out fishing. Rip walks up with a cooler this big, and he goes, "Is this your cooler?" He turns around and he goes, "No." And the guy starts walking towards Rip, and Rip starts walking towards him. Rip flips open the cooler, throws it at him. What's inside? One of those nasty Montana rattlesnakes that was about 6 feet long and bit him right here. And he ran maybe 100 yards and then died. All right. I mean, I can't, that was like, whoa, dude. That guy ended up, I think, probably being wrapped up like a present and tossed over into the canyon, but I don't know. Anyway, I gotta go. My husband's on his way home, and I gotta go pay my horse's board. So you guys all have a good afternoon. Phoebe Waller-Bridge lost her deal at, well, she didn't lose her deal, but she did, at Amazon for Laura Croft. That Salk person basically got fired from Amazon. All's good by me. Anyway, see you guys around the galaxy. Anything goes on today, I'll be back.